Hey, everybody in Amazon Seller Tribe. I just wanted to take a few minutes and talk to you about how adults learn. And it took me a while to learn how I learn. And I wanted to share a few insights with you. Some of you know that I was a teacher in my past life prior to starting to sell on Amazon. My sister also was a teacher. She has a master's degree in administration. She was also a special education teacher and director in one of the public school systems in our county. And so we have teacher backgrounds. We talk a lot about learning. We talk a lot about how people learn. We talk a lot about how we learn. And we have tried to learn more about how we learn, especially as we get older and learning is not as easy or as intuitive as it once was. So let's talk a few minutes about how adults learn. And then you're going to understand why back here you're going to see these tribe coaching round plaques. And there's going to be names that are duplicated across all of the plaques. I don't have Tribe 5 plaque here, but Gary will be getting that to me. And there'll be people whose names on multiple plaques. And some of you who are new to Amazon Seller Tribe might say to yourself, well, why do they have to take the coaching round again? Are they dumb? Did they flunk? And the answer is no, they're not dumb. And no, they didn't flunk. As a matter of fact, they're smart and they're getting smarter. And this is the reason, because we need to learn how adults learn. A big part of the reason people fail in business is the line we say over and over again, you don't know what you don't know. And a lot of times you don't know what you don't know because either you haven't been exposed to the information or you were exposed to the information, but it wasn't timely for you. You didn't really need it at that moment. And so you just blanked it out. You just sort of pressed delete in your brain, but it wasn't a conscious process. So you may say to yourself, well, I totally missed that. And really, in reality, you did. Your mind dismissed it because it didn't pertain to you at the moment. So adults learn differently than children. Children are very conscious and purposeful learners because they're receiving information that is totally new to them. They don't understand nuances of information. For example, there's a nuance in information. I can tell you that it's valuable for you as an Amazon seller to have a repricer. A child can say, oh, I need a repricer, but they don't understand the nuance of it, which is, why do I need a repricer? How can a repricer help me? Could a repricer hurt me? Are there ways that a repricer could be set more efficiently and effectively? Those are the nuances that you as a grown-up are able to understand. And so you need to learn those. Another thing that we need to understand about how adults learn is that adults learn by layering information. But at the same time, that information that is layered is cutting away false information or cutting away walls that we have built in our lives to keep out information. A lot of times we have information coming at us. I'll just take the TV, for example. You turn to news stations and all the time there's information coming at us that may or may not be true. Our walls go up because we want to always receive truthful information, right? So we automatically have those walls up. So now when you come to listen to me, your walls are up because you're like, is she telling me the truth or not? And so then you have to listen and you have to discern and you have to sort of hear that sound of truth in my voice. And if you do, then your walls start kind of coming down and then you believe. You're like, wait, I think she's being genuine with me. Wait, I don't think she's trying to hurt me. So there's other walls that come up in our lives as adults. And one of those walls could be fear. We're just afraid of what we don't know. We're assuming that what we don't know will hurt us. And so we reject it. So there's a layer of fear. So when we bring information in these coaching rounds, we recognize that we have to not only break down that wall of fear, but then get that information to you in a way that you can receive it. We also know that that information might not be timely for you at that moment. You're like, oh, I'm not to that level yet. I don't need that. And so you sort of just flush it. Well, that's right, because we only have a limited amount of brain power. Any one of us has a limited amount of brain power for our day. And so we're constantly, choosing, picking and choosing, especially those of you who are young and have young children in the home still, or you're parenting, you have lots of issues with those kids that you got to deal with. Does the child get his or her shoes on? Did they leave the jacket in the car? Where's the paper that you're looking for? All these kinds of things are besetting your mind and sort of tearing at, weighing on the creative powers in your mind and keeping you from receiving information that is new, especially in line of building your business, in the line of building your business. So many of you have to make yourself very purposeful in learning. So you have to take that layer of fear off. And then you have to accept the information. And then you have to realize whether or not the information is timely. Can I put it to use now? Should I put it on the shelf? By the time I put it on the shelf, am I forgetting it? Do I need a refresher course on that later? I don't know how many times we've gone through tribe coaching, and then we'll see people who have been through the coaching put questions in the main tribe. And they're like, hey, how do you do da da da? Well, it was answered in some of the tribe coaching sessions, but it wasn't information that they needed at the time or couldn't accept at the time, or for whatever reason missed it at the time. I'm not throwing any stones. That happens to me all the time. But then that's why that information has to come back and be sort of layered on you. So fear or doubt is taken away. Now there's room for more information. Past failure is taken away, and now there's room for more information. Another thing that keeps people from learning is unmet expectations. This could be because you assumed it was going to be this way and it wasn't, or the expectations were not clarified. They were not spoken clearly enough for you to understand what was being offered. Maybe the expectations were driven by your emotions of fear or greed or desperation. You're like, I'm desperate. I'm in a desperate situation. And so you're supposed to solve that, Gaye. If I go through the tribe coaching round, you're going to solve that. And that's an expectation that I can't meet. And so you're going to find that you're unfulfilled. It's unmet. And then you're going to say, oh, that failed me. That tribe coaching round failed me. And so that layer comes back on you. And when in reality, it was an expectation that I couldn't ever meet. It was not an expectation that I should have had. I can't get you out of your desperate situation. I don't know how you got there. And I don't know all the mechanisms that you need to employ to move yourself forward. So sometimes we have that unmet expectations keep people from learning. Another thing that keeps people from learning, and I try to confront this, I actually confronted this in myself a couple tribe rounds ago when I realized that there was something that I wasn't learning, was simply because I had pride. I was like, well, I should already know that. And it's kind of embarrassed because I already don't know that. Then why am I resisting that information? Wait, humble yourself, Gaye. Just say, hey, I don't know what I don't know. And I'm okay with learning. Yeah, Gaye, you're the teacher, you're the leader. Aren't you supposed to know everything? Honestly, I can't live up to that expectation, guys. I'm just a regular, ordinary person. So I've got to learn as well. So I had to layer down, let down that wall of pride so I could learn something. Another thing that keeps people from learning, and it's a layer that we have to take off, and that's that lack of trust. Somebody hurt me in the past. I took a coaching course in the past, and my coach never told me or never did this, or they never showed the backside of their account, or they never, never. And so therefore, Gaye and Gary's coaching program is probably the same and probably going to do me harm instead of good. It's probably going to be a waste. And so that lack of trust keeps you from moving forward to let information be layered into your heart and mind. So layer upon layer, we help to bring the walls down. So Gary and I, when we're working on the tribe coaching rounds, we're very purposeful in the voices we choose to speak into your lives, the information we choose to speak into your lives. Will there be other information? Yes, there's other things. We don't teach everything about everything because it's not necessary. It's not necessary to your foundation building $1 million business and beyond. It's not necessary. Some people like knowledge just for the sake of saying something smart in a group so everybody else can be like, oh, they're smart. But it's not knowledge that pertains to what you're doing. It's not knowledge that's even necessary for what you're doing. It just sounds really, really smart. I'm always kind of suspicious of people who are posturing to sound really, really, really smart. Because actually we've had some experience with people who really are smart. And generally, the really, really smart people are the ones who are quieter and more humble and more willing to learn. I'll use my own children as an example. I have 3 natural born children, and then I have a 4th that's adopted. He's the youngest one, and he's almost natural born in the sense that he's actually my nephew. He was born biologically my nephew. My oldest brother had this son and was off in drugs and alcohol, et cetera, and he couldn't raise the child. And so me and my husband took him, put him in with ours, and he's just a year younger than our 3rd one. And so they're all in a row, so now they're 33, 34, 35, and 36 years old. Well, as he grew, we began to be frustrated by some of the ways he did things. We're like, you're driving me crazy, Jesse. Why is this? Why did you do that? Why did you do that? And about 3rd or 4th grade, I was kind of saying my frustration to the teacher that was the gifted teacher, and he had tested for the gifted program. My other children had tested for the gifted program too. My oldest son, I pulled out of the gifted program because he was not only gifted intellectually, but gifted in social activities and talking to people. So he would talk so much, he never got his homework done for his regular coursework. So I pulled him out. But anyway, Jesse's in there and I'm frustrated telling this teacher, he's driving me crazy, this. And she said, Gaye, listen. She says, Jesse's smart. There's nothing wrong with him. He's smart. He's a bright brain. His brain is just put in sideways. He's always going to get where you're going, but he's going to get there differently. So there are some of you who understand that. You're like, yeah, when Gaye lays it out or Gary lays it out, I don't quite get there that way. And you end up going there differently. And sometimes, what you end up doing is we end up doing is we develop kind of a pride. We're like, therefore, I'm smarter. But interestingly enough, my youngest son, he developed sort of a reverse to that, which the reverse of pride is humility. And he was able to recognize, because he had 3 older siblings that were going this way, and he's over there going this way. Now, they would all end up at the same place, but he recognized he wasn't getting there the same way they were. And so he said to himself, how can I learn? How can I learn? And so he became very humble, even though on the IQ tests, he did better than the other children. And so if you lay their IQ tests side by side, here these are, my natural born children are high intellects, but then his intellect is here. Genius level intellect. And so he wasn't going to get there the same way the rest of us did, but he was always going to get there. So what I had to learn to do was to speak to him more humbly myself. I had to humble myself. And I had to say, Jess, this, kind of coach him on how we were getting this way and how we were going this way. And he's still going, how can I figure out how to synchronize with the way that they're thinking? Now he's 33 years old. He does very well in leading a team of programmers for my oldest son's company. They do very, very well working together. They're both brilliant minds. And at the same time, they've learned to accommodate how each other's brains work. And so they've accepted each other in humility. So instead of Jacob being prideful, going, oh, Jess, I already figured that out. Why are you still wandering around over here? Jesse's solving, inventing things over here, And Jesse humbled himself as well and was like, oh, Jake wants me to get from point A to point B faster, not necessarily more creative or whatever. You began to meet each other's expectations because they humbled themselves to learn from each other. And so adults have to do that as well. One of the probably most uncomfortable things adults end up doing is having to accept we don't know that. And then also having an eagerness to discover what we don't know. I've started learning to accept the coaching rounds as an exciting opportunity to discover what I don't know, instead of a way to sit on the fence and go, yeah, I've been there, done that. I already know this or that or the other. Well, yeah, maybe I know this or that or the other, but I don't know that. And it could be that new thing that brings my business up to a whole nother level. And so I have to accommodate that adult learning in me. How can I eagerly greet this new bit of information? And then how can I use it to make my business better, faster, stronger, more profitable? Or how can I use that to buy back my time? So now I'm living the lifestyle I really want, have the money I want, but I also have the time I want, right? And so this is what happens as we layer in this information. I just got off an interview with Barry and Sheila Bloom. What precious people. And they were both very, very insightful during the interview. You'll have a chance to listen to that, but I'm also able to present them with their gold lanyard because they reached the $1 million sales level. I was super excited for them. But one of the things that they said was, they were almost just about to tell us something that ended up being kind of proprietary to Tribe 5. And I said, well, and we were all like, oop, we can't say that. And then they said, but we're going to be in Tribe 6. What? Well, didn't you guys learn all this stuff and now you're $1 million sellers? And they said, no, we're going to be in Tribe 6. Why? Because there's more that they want to layer in there. They want to make their business better, faster, stronger, or buy back more of their time. And so this is just on my heart. I just wanted to talk about how adults learn, and learning how you learn is going to be a great move for you as you work in your Amazon business, as you teach others to work in your Amazon business, as you help your spouse or your business partner work in your business. Learning how you learn is one of the ways to help you achieve that kind of success. But also then learning how to approach what we're bringing to you in Amazon Seller Tribe through the tribe coaching rounds. I think this will be beneficial to you if you can kind of let down those layers that we talked about of fear, of past failure, unmet expectations, pride, lack of trust, those sorts of things. And then let us layer in information that's going to help you build a business that really makes a difference to your life and the life of your family. So thank you for listening to me today, theorize about how adults learn, and talk to you about our shared experiences. So hopefully this video was helpful to you. Appreciate each one of you.